Hey guys, so in this video we are going to understand a simple meet in the middle problem. So basically the problem is you are giving four distinct arrays and you have to find number of quadruples I1, I2, I3 and I4 such that A1 I1 plus A2 I2 plus A3 I3 plus A4 I4 is equal to a given target value k. Alright, so let's just understand the problem with the help of an example. Let's say A1 is equal to 1 2, A2 is equals to 1 2, A3 is 1 2 and again 1 2 again, and let's just say A4 is the same, and the target value of k is equal to 5. So the number of quadruples that such that A1 I1 plus A2 I2 plus A3 I3 plus A4 I4 is equal to 5 is equal to 4. Answer is equals to 4 in this case, because the quadruples can be 0 0 0 1. These are the indices. So why 0 0 0 1? Because a1 0 is equals to 1, that is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, that is equals to 5, right? The second quadruple will be 0 0 1 0. The third quadruple will be 0 1 0 0, and the fourth quadruple will be 1 0 0 0, right? That's why we have four quadruples in total. So basically, now that you understand the problem, what you need to do is you can take a break of 5 minutes right now and try this problem on your own, and then you can continue watching this video. So you can pause it now. All right, now continuing with the solution. Now a very naive way to solve this problem is definitely you can iterate through the four arrows entirely. You can have a nested loop where you have four for loops, four nested for loops, and the time complexity for that will be of n to the power 4. It's the most naive solution that you can come across, and basically you need to improve upon this. So we will start our discussion with an O of n cube solution, and then we will improve up to O of n to the power O of n square. All right. So how do we solve this problem in O of n cube? All right. So to solve this problem in O of n cube time, let's just say that I consider all the pairs I comma j from array a1 and a2. All right, I am considering all these pairs I comma j from array a1 and a2. So what I will do is I will iterate through a1 and a2 in form of a nested loop like this. For I equals to 0, I less than size of a1, I plus plus. For j equals to 0, j less than size of a2, j plus plus. Now I will find the value y. Int y equals to a1 I plus a2 j, right? And let's just find another value t, that is equals to x minus y. All right, now what I'm suggesting is, if I need to find a pair, let's say x comma y, not x comma y, because x, the variable x, sorry, this is not x, this is k. All right, let's just say I need to find a pair I1 comma I2, I1 comma J1. All right, such that C of A3 I1 plus A4 J1 is equal to this value t, this target value t. So we need to find number of such pairs I1 comma J1 such that A3 I1 plus A4 J1 is equal to t. Now this is a very standard problem solved using two pointer. So basically this problem can be solved in O of size of A3 plus size of A4 time. That is in linear time complexity. Once you, all you need to do is sort A3 and A4 initially before going through this loop. So what you can do is sort this array A3 and A4 in ascending order, and then after you have, once since you have sorted the arrays already, you can apply this this algorithms. This is a two pointer algorithm. The problem is, given two arrays, I'll just write down the problem for better explanation. So given two arrays, this is the sub problem that we need to solve. Given two arrays, find number of pairs I comma j such that a1i plus a2j is equal to x. The time complexity for solving this problem using two pointer approach is, let's say these are two sorted arrays, all right, to make things simpler. So given two sorted arrays, the time complexity for solving this problem is O of n. All right, so basically you can solve this problem in O of n time. So let's just say I'm for in the same way I'm going to solve this problem for this target value t. So for this target value t, I am going to find the number of indices i1 comma j1 in the array a3 and a4 such that the value of a3i1 plus a3j1 a4j1 is equal to t, and that will take O of size of a3 plus size of a4 time. All right, so let's just say I've coded that solution over here, and if you want to look at that solution, you can, I'm not going to get into depth of that solution because that is not the scope of the discussion of this problem right now. So if you want to look at that, you can just Google up this problem over here, the second problem which I mentioned in here. So using that, the total time complexity of solving this problem will become O of n cube. So we eliminated a factor of n. All right, so O of n cube considering all the arrays are of size n. All right, so if all the arrays are of size n, so the time complexity for solving this problem is O of n cube. All right, now let's just move to the O of n square solution. Let me clean this up now a bit. So if you guys have any doubts with the O of n cube solution, you can just post it in the comment section and I will be glad to answer that. The O of n square solution is the one that uses the meet in the middle technique to solve it. All right. Now coming to the O of n square, O of n, now coming to the, all right, now coming to the O of n square solution that uses meet in the middle approach. So the prerequisites for this is, and you need to understand hash map, and you also need to be thorough with the two pointer techniques and these kind of things. So let's just say you should just visit, it's not really that much important to understand two pointers, but it will be a cherry to the topping. Cherry as a topping. Two pointer technique. So now how do I explain this now? So basically what you need to do is you need to segregate the two. Just think of it like this, that in meet in the middle approach, you segregate the arrays that you have or whatever you have in two equal halves. Okay, so in this case I'm going to segregate the arrays that we have in two equal halves. That is I'm going to separate array a1 and a2 in a single box, and I'm going to separate array a3 and a4 in a different box. All right, now for the first two arrays a1 and a2. Let's just have a look at them separately. So what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to iterate over them completely, okay, and I'm going to find all the distinct sums they can produce, the frequencies of sums that they can produce. All right, so I'm going to, for this I'm going to use a hash map. Let's call it h map. All right, let's just say this is a hash map, and I'm going to iterate the arrays I equals to 0, I less than, let's say both a1 and a2 are of size n for simplicity, I plus plus, for j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this value in the hash map, the value of a1i plus a2j. So I'm going to do is h map a1i plus a2j plus plus. All right, so this is going to store the frequency, the number of occurrences of a1i plus a2j in the hash map. Okay, so this is the part 1. Let's say this is the p1. All right, now I will look at these two arrays a3 and a4, and I will complete my solution with the help of these two arrays only and this hash map. Now these two arrays are not required anymore. Now I'll iterate over a3 and a4 just like I iterated over a1 and a2. All right, so I will do the same thing. So same for loop. Let's just say I have coded that for loop down. Now let's say the current summation is equals to x, that is equals to a3i plus a4j. All right, so the value that I will be looking in hash map is, let's say it's t, it is the target, one second, the target value that I will be looking in hash map, it is equal to the value that I was looking initially at, k minus x. All right, so basically I need to find this target t in the hash map, right? So how do I do that? So the final answer, let's say answer equals to 0 is this variable is storing the final answer. It will be incremented by answer plus equals to hash map of t, h map t. So basically what I did was, for this target value, let's just retrace the entire solution. All right, how does the meet in the middle solution actually works, and this will give you another revision round and a better explanation as well. So let's just remove this all first. All right, so this is the solution. You first segregate the, first what you do is you segregate the arrays. Okay, so you put a1 and a2 in the same box and a3 and a4 in the other box. All right, now what you do is you store all the, you find all the pairs I comma j. You iterate over a1 comma a2, you find all the indices a of I comma j, and store the frequency of the value, and you find the value of a of I, a1i plus a2j. That is, you find this for all values of I in a1 and all values of j in a2, and you insert this into the frequency map. Okay, you create a frequency hash map, and you insert this value into that, and let's say that hash map is this h map. All right, now we have this h map in O of n square time, right? Because the size of the array is of the two arrays a1 and a2 is n each, so the total number of distinct pairs will be n square, and the time complexity for insertion into a hash map is O of constant, so the total time complexity for insertion will be O of n square. All right, now what you need to do is you need to iterate over array, you have to iterate over array a3 and a4 you have to consider all the pairs I comma j from a3 and a4 in the same way you consider the pairs from a1 and a2. And let's say for a pair a3i plus a4j is equal to let's say its value is equals to something, let's say y, then you need to find you need to search for k minus y, right? You need to search for k minus y in the hash map. So you go into the hash map, you find the frequency, the number of occurrences of this value k minus y. If it's not present in the hash map, then the answer is 0. Otherwise, you already know the answer, and you can update the final answer by that value. That, let's say final answer is 0, you will update the final answer by answer plus equals to hash map k minus y. And the runtime complexity for this part of the question is also O of n square. So basically the total time complexity drops down to O of n square. So this is how the meet in the middle technique works in here. Now just for practice, for the sake of practice, how do we extend this problem? All right, so for the sake of problem, for the sake of practice, you can try to extend this problem to 6 arrays. Okay, just try to solve the same problem for 6 distinct arrays, and the expected time complexity for that is O of n cube. Let's say each array is of size n, there are 6 different arrays, and you have to find solve the same problem in O of n cube time. All right, now that is all for this video, and I hope that you guys had a lot to learn from this one. So let me go know if you guys have any doubt, and I will be happy to answer that.